Hey everyone, John and Ray from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a short trade here on the euro. We have a couple seconds left on the candle. Once the candle completes, then we're looking to jump in. So the entry short is going to be right here at 640. And the reason that we're jumping in short here is simply because we're obviously in a range, right? And not only are we obviously in a range, but we just massively failed off of the highs. We've been keeping an eye on this double up area all through here at this kind of 2,600 area or so, or 12,600. And this entire area, it was from last night's newsletter. And we ran into that area and it's been stuck there ever since. We hit that double up area and just stuck. I'm sorry, it's a quad up from the nightly newsletter. And it hit it so many times, and they still can't get through it, right? So this massive rejection up here, a lot of times they're going to give it one really strong push like they had right here. Big slam through, and then it completely failed right back down again. So that failure is sort of like the death throw, right? That's the last bit of ammo that they had left, and now they're likely going to start giving up. The buyers tried so hard to get it up through that area, and with that failure, I'm looking for this to want to cycle back towards the lows. So the entry point's at 12,640. The stop is up at 12,765, and we want to make sure that our target is at least equal to that. So we can measure this out here, and our target is going to be first one right here at 12,515, and that is equal to our stop size. Now, as we start pushing down, the primary objective is going to be getting back down to these lows. Notice where all of these lows kind of stacked up. If we put a line across here, we can see right before they had a little bit of a failure breakout here, and then it completely slammed back up. And that same level is coming to play several times all morning, right? So that's kind of viewed as sort of the range lows, and that's going to be the final objective. So I'm looking to take profit right there at 12,415. So beautiful risk reward on the trade. Now we just have to wait for the sellers to push down and continue this drive failure off the highs back down to the other side of the range. Seeing the sellers pushing aggressively lower here, this looks like the buyers are just giving up. They tried to hold it right here. We can see a really nice buy attempt candle right there. Couldn't even trigger above it. And now we're seeing selling pressure coming right back down again. So it's very obvious that the buyers, they tried and they just don't have anything left to try anymore. Now, one final area that we need to keep an eye on is potentially a channel low. Now, the nice thing is our target is ahead of that channel low, so there's no concern there. But that is the final area that we may find some support in for the buyers, just kind of like a last line of defense. Now, we did fill the objective. Let's adjust the stop to one contract. That's going to go to break even, and I'm actually going to go above this most recent drop. Given that the buyers likely gave up here, I don't want to see them take any of this back. So my stop is going to go just ahead of break even, a little bit of profit locked in this case, and I'm looking for the sellers to want to continue to drive this down. This is a beautiful bear candle. Now we need to see the sellers step up to the plate and finish the job off. Our overall objective is back down to the range lows, but we need to get through this area of support. And you can see we're getting a little bit of bouncing here. That's why you always want to keep your eyes on those areas. Even if you're still looking to go through them, make sure you at least get something off the table before you hit them. So in this case, we're hitting the bottom edge of this potentially channel high, or channel low rather. If you copy paste this up to the highs, we can see that there might be a channel here. So we need to see the sellers get through this. There's enough strength here to show that the sellers will probably succeed in breaking this down, but it's always good to have an eye on what's going on. So now we're just waiting for the sellers to continue this drive lower, break through this area of rising support, and get to the final objective at 415. We're seeing some very nice movement here, and there's an opportunity for an additional scalp. So I'm only looking to add one contract, and it's going to be at 12,475. The primary reason, we're breaking out of that rising support. We came back to retest it with a beautiful bearish candle, but I want to see them trigger in. Now, if we do trigger this in, I'm still taking everything off at the 12,415 area, but now that will allow me to move my stop down above this instead once it triggers in. We don't want to move it early, but that's kind of what we're looking for at the moment. So everything is still pointing down. We're getting a nice breakout pullback into the channel retest, looking for the sellers to want to continue this drive down for an additional entry at 12,475. And now we just want to wait to see if the sellers can trigger it in and get that drive down to the objective that we're looking for at 415. So we can see the second entry point was hit. Really nice entry candle, nice strong bearishness that's showing the movement to the downside. Now we just have to wait to see the sellers come in, and you can see they're pushing into the objective, and there, look at that, all in one big push. Beautiful move down. Now you'll notice I did reduce the stop, and given our average position, it was still a profitable stop, even if it went against us. And that's a beautiful scenario to be in. So just an absolutely gorgeous drive. Failure off of the highs, very obvious range high. Just zoom out a little bit, and you'll see exactly where that's coming from. And we sold it down into the range lows. What do we know about ranges? We need to sell high and we need to buy low. In this case, we sold high and we bought low. They were just our profit targets at the lows. So beautiful failure off of the highs. It's exactly what you're looking for, and you can't really ask for a much better setup than that, especially on the euro. So that's going to do it for me. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email into School of Trade. Throw over to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.